What's up, guys? Showtime. Showtime Shred Fitness over here. Size, growth, get big. All right. So a lot of people, right, are really into sports and all this other type of thing. Now, that sometimes doesn't kick in, right, until the Bin brothers show up, right? So you got these parents now, freaking, they're older, right? They passed it up. They passed their opportunity to shine, to compete, to train, all this other things. Maybe they never trained a day in their life, or maybe they did and they quit. It was the biggest mistake they made of their life, right? They regret it every day of their life. They regret it. So they know what they should have done, right? They know what they could have done, right? They know what they would have done if they'd have known what they know, right? And didn't do what they did. They did something else. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. The Bin brothers, they're all over the place, right? So they want to live now vicariously through their kids. Now watch out for this, okay? Because you might be one of these people that have been visited by those Bin brothers, right? And I don't want you to get caught up in the trap. You might have the right intentions as a parent, okay? And I'm gonna do this basis. You're gonna see along the way parents that do it wrong, and they're gonna have kids that come out great, and they're gonna exceed all expectations, only to meet their parents' expectations, or maybe even not meet them. Okay, this is the danger. I'm gonna do this later. Okay, so those parents, they're not bad people, right? In fact, they're good people. They're good parents in what they want the best for their kids, right? They want their kids to succeed. They want their kids to have the opportunity that they didn't have. They're going to pull out all the stops, work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, right? So their kids can have the best coaches, the best trainers, play on the best teams, have the best opportunity to get the best coaches, the best opportunity for scholarships, everything. They investigate everything from marketing to freaking, talking to all the right people, getting to the right camps, sports camps, and this and that, and the other thing, okay? So I just want to break it down just a little bit for you guys and make this simple, okay? That whole little cliche thing they used to say, KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid, right? So, and not that any of you are stupid at all, okay? I mean, there might be some of you that are stupid, there might be some of you that are highly intelligent. There's going to be some people far in between, right? More towards the intelligent side, more towards the intellectual inferior side. I kind of drift into that myself, but what I make up for by not having intelligence is I'll ask questions. I'll ask the people that know the answers. And not always going to the people who are the most intelligent is the most intelligent decision. Sound fair enough? You can go to a guy that's really smart, but he doesn't know nothing about nothing when it comes to a certain subject or a certain endeavor, because they don't tap into that, right? So there's book smart, there's street smart, and there's niche smart, I call it, I guess. That didn't even sound right. I'll come up with another name for it. But if you got a certain niche in life, right, and you want to excel in it, well, you got to put in at least 10,000 hours of time. So that's why I get annoyed with the government going, all right, we're going to make this law. Well, medical experts say this, and this. Well, I don't care what they say. We're the government, we're going to do that. Yeah, it's stupid, okay? But they're really smart, because then they just say, we're the government. The people go, okay. They don't say Hail Hitler and things like that, right? Because we're on a Hitler in power. But that's kind of the mentality, right? So, but it's wrong, okay? So when you want to learn about medicine, you talk to pharmacists, you talk to doctors, you talk to nurses. A lot of nurses know more than a lot of doctors do, right? If you want to talk about certain medications and things like that, same thing. You find the experts that study the stuff for several thousand hours, for several $1,000s in learning this stuff. Not just some person in a suit that says, this is what we're going to do things because I said so. It doesn't work that way, all right? If you want to learn finances, you talk to a financial expert. If you want to learn about business, you talk to a business expert. You want to talk about learn the sales, you talk to the people who are successful in sales, not the ones that say sales is a bad deal because of this, that, and the other thing, and bring all the negative things in, and then never been on a sales floor before. You don't listen to that guy. You might listen to, I do listen to negative people to find out best and worst case scenario. So when the things that they talk about, you go in there expecting to win, but you're also expecting the worst of when the worst things happen, you can respond to those variables, flip it around, and still charge through those adversary moments and still win, right? Because that's exactly what happens is people will run into a problem or a challenge, like I like to call it, because problems people tend to avoid. Challenges, winners will look at the challenge and go, I can beat it, I can stand up to the challenge and give it a run for its money, and this will be fun for me, and I'll either succeed or I won't, but most likely I'll succeed, and if I don't, I'm going to learn to pick up the pieces that I missed, that puzzle, to plug it in, and then boom, shakalaka, I got it done, I'll succeed next time. If not next time, then the time after that, right? And if you do it 1,000 times, then maybe by 1,001 times, like Thomas Edison, boom, the light bulb, it lights up, and you're successful. And guess what? If you hit that 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 3,000 times, every one of these people who go 1, 2, 3 and done. Some people do 1 and done. Be really careful with that. You're really robbing yourself, right? Unless you really got some really good plan B, right? Which distracts from plan A. So experts say don't have a plan B. It distracts from plan A, but that does not mean that used to mess me up. And I would tell people you need a plan B. Well, it's not a plan B to just take resources and protect yourself as you're going through. So if you're training for a bodybuilding competition, right, and along the way you've done part-time jobs, you've learned another craft, you've learned more education because you've been going to college part of full time while you've been training at the gym, and you've invested in maybe some real estate and some put some money in the stock market perhaps, or maybe you bought some iron, some gold, some silver. You've kind of protected yourself with little niches or part-time business or part-time job, whatever it is, to keep money flowing, obviously, because it doesn't fall from the sky, right? And bodybuilding or any other thing you do, racing a car, is probably the most expensive sport in the entire world. And then, but I'd say bodybuilding is probably the top 3 or 4 or 5. If not the top 2, because to be a successful bodybuilder, some of those guys spend thousands and thousands of dollars a year on their craft as well. So you gotta have not a plan B, but you gotta have all your ducks in a row for your plan A to explode through the line of scrimmage and get you into the end zone, so to speak, right? And so getting back now, what does this have to do with us as parents? It has everything to do with parenting, right? Because if you fucked up as a kid, right, because you didn't do sports, your parents wouldn't let you do sports, or your parents maybe thought it were too easy on you, or you quit, it was the biggest mistake of your life. Watch that. Now, not letting your kids quit and forcing them to finish the season, I agree with that 100%. I'm 100% on board with that. Don't let your fucking kids quit in the middle of the season. It's going to not guarantee for them to quit in the future, but it's going to be easier. Once you quit once, it's a habit just like anything else. So you quit once, you quit again, you quit. Before you know it, you quit everything, right? So it's not a habit you want your kids ever to get into. So when they learn to suck it up through something they don't like, a situation they're not comfortable in, that's good. Now, what you don't want them to do, though, is like some parents have maybe do the whole fucking shebang, right? So kindergarten through freaking, some will start them in preschool, right? On the mat wrestling, on the mat MMA, right? In the ring boxing, okay? And then you head damage, everything else, brain damage stuff. You really gotta be careful with that kind of stuff. Make sure you have the right coaches. They're not letting the kids punch themselves and punching pads, not punching in the head. If they're gonna learn that kind of stuff, right? At that age, you don't want to be all brain dead before you even freaking get in. You're not even 18 yet. You're talking about maybe a pro guy now. You can't even think because you punch drunk already. No, you don't do that. So smart coaches will implement that. You get an Anthony Hamlet or you get a Shawn Descardins, you get something like that. They're going to protect the kids, right? They're going to make sure they don't get hurt. And if it is, it's going to be an arm or a leg or a knee or whatever, and you're going to recover from that and decide to continue on with the sport or not. But they're not going to get the kid all punch drunk and everything else when he's 10 or when he's 5 or when he's 3. They don't even let him start till at least 4 or 5 or 6 anyways, right? But it's baby steps, right? It's mostly conditioning and rolling around and submissions. They teach you to tap out, this and that. So there's no head trauma, right? That's 18 and up. Then beat the shit out of each other if you want. Let them do their own adult decisions from there. But you don't need to be a fucking instigator of that and get them all before they're even. Good luck with even graduating from high school then, right? So make sure you protect your kids. You gotta get the right coach. You gotta get the right training. Just go, oh, this guy's good. Don't just fucking. You might be throwing him into the wolves. Investigate this fucking guy or gal, right? Make sure that this is the real deal. You ain't gonna hurt your kids. It's important. So, I got a long list of people that I can freaking recommend right now for certain sports, and there's other people you're gonna call me on. I'm gonna be like, I don't know. And there's gonna be some other people that I might be like, it's not a good idea, right? But I'm gonna shoot you straight. So if I say I don't know, don't just go, well, he didn't say anything bad, and hire him, right? Still do your research. But the thing I want to talk to you about more than anything else is making it fun. Okay, make this fun for the kids. Don't fucking yell at them. Don't fucking make them pressured. Because I'll tell you what, I've been in sports. I've been training since I was 5 years old. I've been competing right around that age, right? First, second grade, maybe even kindergarten was my first competition of some sort, right? Doing all the different sports, football, wrestling, track, those types of things. I've done those sports, and I didn't even do my first bodybuilding competition until I was 19 years old. Okay, I get into the scene with the bodybuilding and powerlifters way later in life. So these other sports are really good for kids. Any sport is good for kids. It helps with discipline, social skills, endurance, mental and physical strength, endurance, right? Teaches you teamwork, leadership, how to follow orders, all these types of things that become really essential in any endeavor in life. It's the best freaking business course you can give a kid, right? It's really good. And you get into numbers and all that stuff later on, because there is a difference. You see a lot of athletes, you want to talk business, and you want to see a lot of failures. Whew. Watch out, you get a kid who's fresh out of high school, college, $22 million, and then 2 years after his retirement of his 4-year average career in the NFL or NBA, and now he's broke. Well, because you gave him the fruit without the root, right? He earned his money, don't get me wrong. He's freaking greatest in the world at what he did, or one of the greatest in the world at what he or she did, right? But then, no money management skills, fair enough. You gotta build that up from when they're little. Unfortunately, the government, they don't teach you that kind of thing, so you're gonna have to figure out financial success, whether you're financially successful or not. So you teach your kids investing, savings, having the emergency fund of $1,000 right on hand to get right this second. Your 3 to 6 months worth of bills. So whatever your bills are, whether high or low, you got that money tucked away in the bank. Boom, shakalaka, you're ready to go. You probably need to get them working on that when you're still living on your roof, because you know how it is. You get out in the real world and living paycheck to paycheck now, and maybe you got a son that knocked up somebody else's daughter. You got your daughter got knocked up by somebody else's son. I'm sorry about the language here, but that's just life, right? And you're going, oh, not my kid. Well, I hope not. And a lot of my friends are in situations where it didn't happen like that. It was planned, but guess what? The planned ones are broke too. Okay, they got married. They have this nice education, and so instead of getting knocked up early and still being in high school, just graduating, now they got, what do they want, Bob? $100,000 in college debt. And so now they gotta fucking pay back all this college debt plus interest. You gotta get an education, you gotta get a good job, and that fucking bachelor's degree or BS or BA or whatever it is, it ain't worth the paper it's written on, because nowadays everybody's got one, and it costs them $25,000 back in my day, $30,000 at a little school like Central, in a big university. Forget about it, right? $200,000, $300,000 if you're a fucking doctor, but now you're actually making money. But you gotta fucking pay your dues for a while before you're even out of the hole, right? Because you're starting out in the red. So, just think, go be a doctor. It's gonna be good money, but you're gonna be broke for a while. But that's okay. You will eventually be financially successful if you're smart with your money, absolutely. But you teach your kids emergency fund, $1,000, 3 to 6 months of expenses, bills, booze. Yeah, can teach your kids to drink booze. That's a great idea. They kick them right off the team, right out of school. Way to go, Showtime. All right, that was a slip of the verbiage there. I was trying to say 3 to 6 months of bills, not booze, right? Bills, food, and water, and because nowadays you gotta have the purified stuff, right? You gotta either have Cajun water or a filter on your thing, or you buy the bottled water out of the, because the tap water nowadays is garbage, you know, it's running through there, right? So yeah, so you got all those things, and all your bills that come with it, your electricity, your water bill, your garbage bill, all that shit, right? So they gotta be up for all that stuff. They gotta pay their bills, and then they gotta have enough money to pay their bills when there is no money to pay the bills, right? Nowadays, 3 to 6 months, it was tough to even get through COVID with, right? So you got to make sure that your kids are prepped, right? Right here, you got to teach them financially what they don't teach in the schools, and then you got to teach them to put money away, right? 401k, this and that and the other thing, which is only going to be a partial investment because you throw it in there, you don't pay attention to it, and whether it's high risk, low risk, those fucking mutual funds they got you, and they're only going to go so far, right? So you're going to go up here, and they're going to cap you. They're going to put a ceiling on it. It's not pure capitalism. They're just helping you get a high interest savings account. Is what you're going to have to do. So it's up there 12-15%. It's great, right? You can still be a millionaire that way, maybe, but you're probably going to get capped out. So you're probably going to be around $100,000 to $500,000 at the most. How long is that going to last? You ain't working no more when you're done, right? So if you don't have a job with the pension, this government, you're going to be broke. You're going to have $100,000 or $300,000 or $500,000 with the inflation the way it is. Your kids are going to be fucking broke. That's not going to be enough to live on. Okay, so you got to do more aggressive stuff. Get them their fucking. I'm getting my kids into it already, right? You gotta have them involved in the stock market right now when they're fucking 4 years old, 8 years old, 12 years old. So when they're in their 20s and 30s or 40s, they're already millionaires. Okay, and they can get more aggressive. And if they fuck up, they're still young, right? You put it in, you pull, you have to know what you're doing. You have to study. You're gonna have to hire maybe some experts, whatever you got to do. But you're gonna let that boom, 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 and you got to pull it out at the right time. You got to throw it in at the right time. You got to be patient, let it compound. And there's a lot of science to it, just like bodybuilding. And if you're not patient, and if you can't take a loss, and you can't learn from your temporary setbacks, you know, these guys, oh, the stock market doesn't work. It's you know, they're gonna be crying fucking mommy and all this stuff, tail between the legs. So I can't recommend stocks to everybody because you gotta have to be a little bit of a risk taker. But that's why you diversify. You've got money in low risk stocks, high risk stocks, mutual funds, bonds, fucking art and fucking gold, silver. You buy freaking certain commodities that you think might come up. If not, you can short sell it. Okay, you bought it for $100. You thought this was gonna skyrocket to $1,000. It's a scam. Now you'll only be able to take $10 or $20 for it, but it's better than putting your money into drugs and booze and gambling and all these types of things and losing it, right? Because you can short sell it for something, okay? And when it does hit, boom, you sell a gun, you sell a knife, you sell a freaking piece of art, painting. You know, you gotta watch out for the fakes, and this is all kinds of. It's a fucking nightmare if you don't know what you're doing. It's a whole other lifestyle, and it's a whole another line of hard work, and there's no way around it. But getting back to what I was going to say about the sporting events right now, but you see how this thing's far more important than fucking playing a high school sport that one out of every 250,000 kids gets a scholarship. Gets an NFL contract, right? Or most of them are going to go broke anyways because they didn't study finances. So whether your kid is good enough to play in the NFL or is a shitty athlete, and no matter what coaches you get him, and no matter how many camps he goes to, and no matter how hard he tries, if he doesn't have a passion, or if he's got every fucking thing there is, he'll still succeed, but he might not even get a offer. He might have to walk on somewhere, and he might not just want to do that. He might decide to do something else. Go let him or her do their fucking thing. Don't live vicariously through your kids, okay? So you force it on them, here's what's going to happen. they're gonna hate it. They're gonna probably hate you. So you go, let them do their thing and make it fun. And then when they're having fun, the winning will be a side effect of that joining, as long as they're willing to put in the hard work, right? Because the hard work will beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. But what happens when talent works hard, but your kids are so into it and they love it so much and they put in the extra work, the hard work, talent, and the hardworking, talented kids, now they got the edge. Well, no, they don't if they're not passionate about it as your kids were. If your kids got more passion, more work ethic, and they just got this burning desire and this love for the sport, then that can trump talent, even when talent works hard sometimes, because they got that Rocky mentality, right? How do you beat Drago? How do you beat these guys, right? How do you go get with the world title when the Italian Stallion is slow, when the Italian Stallion was a bum, he got a lucky break, right? Those things happen in real life sometimes because the mind is stronger than the body. The mind is what creates a champion from not being a champion. And so remember that. Work on your kids getting the strongest mind in the room, not the biggest bank account, not the best talented athlete or coach, not get first the mind right. Where the mind goes, everything else will follow. Feed the mind, you feed your body, you feed your soul. Okay? I got a client, he's patenting that right now. That's his saying, right? Work hard, be humble. He's got those types of sayings in his company. So these are the types of things that you need to teach your kids. Make it fun and point out all the great things they did. And then you go right into it. Right away though. So the kids will come off. And you notice these mistakes. You say, yeah, you fucked up. You missed your fucking coverage. The fuck wrong with you, you fucking kid? Right? No, you don't talk to him like that. Now, if you're just going to address that, you teach him how to, remember that kid who pulls out here. When he does this, he's going to fake here, and then you don't bite because that's why he scored the 6 points. Give him some cushion, because then you give him some cushion, you let him catch the ball, you blast him. And then he's going to think twice before catching that ball again. But then if he goes like that and he fakes, like he did, you got all that cushion, now guess what? You're right on his hip, okay? You can intercept the ball. The kid comes off the mat. He didn't sprawl, okay? He got taken down. He lost in the last few seconds. Come on, kid, think. You watch. When he comes in, you shoot on him. Boom. Now when he shoots on you, see how he moves the leg? And watch this. Boom! And you cross face him right in the fucking nose. Fucking break that thing. You only need to go this much, but it's gonna make him think about it. It only takes 7 pounds of pressure to break a nose. We're not gonna break it. We're just gonna go right across here, and we're just gonna make him feel a little bit. Boom. Right? Pancake. Boom. Now he's on his back. Okay? You teach the kid gets excited, right? Because you almost did it. Here's how we fix it. And that's what my Coach Stanford always did when I come off the bat. I'd be like, oh fuck, I lost. Here, we're gonna fix here. When he does this is what we're gonna do next time. Next time you're gonna win the match. And I did. But he didn't fucking yell at me, okay? He taught me how to fix it. That's what you do. You teach your kids how to fix the problem. You don't fucking yell at them. It doesn't do anybody. You go, oh, you're a piece of shit. Go sit the fuck down. That's like being fucking married. You know? You're married to these fucking women and men who are narcissistic, and they fucking tell you everything they do wrong. They got their own fucking garbage in this fucking closet, right? They can do no wrong. You're up on this pedestal. That's like a lot of liberals, and that's like a lot of parents that fucking couldn't make the cut, and they woulda, coulda, shoulda been brothers. They could have done it, and they'd fucking take it all out on their kids. They got their standards for everybody else up here, when in life, they're down here, they failed, and they're doing everything they can to try to either make other people miserable, or to try to give them everything they didn't have, but they're going about it the wrong way. So there's nothing wrong with being involved with your kid. I think that's fucking phenomenal. I think that's great, but there's a way to teach them and coach them and not teach them. Coach them. If you don't know, get the right coach, step the fuck back and let the coach do his fucking job. Let Anthony Hamlet train, let Sean Jones fucking coach, and let the trainers do their job. Let the experts do their job. If you're not an expert, shut the fuck up and go the fuck home. Right? Be there for your kid, be supportive, but don't fucking be there at all. And don't fucking be fucking shocked if you're fucking yelling at your kid and Anthony Hamlet comes up and punches you in the face for being an asshole, right? Because it's a little kid. You're fucking blind if it's your kid or not. Don't fucking bully him. What the fuck did he do? He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's fucking now You can get on a kid's ass for fucking around. Pay attention. You know, don't be fucking around. Listen to your coach, right? But if they're paying attention, doing what they're supposed to do, they might blow an assignment once in a while. They might fucking miss a tackle. They might fucking might forget to sprawl, right? They might accidentally go to their back. They're supposed to go to their stomach if they're wrestling. They might go to their stomach. They're supposed to go to their back if they're in an MMA cage fight. It happens. If you don't make mistakes, you have nothing to draw off of to get better or to appreciate when you do start winning. You don't just show up and get your hand fucking raised or everybody be in the arena, right? At least your kid's in there fucking doing the shit, in the shit, on the battlegrounds, first or last place. He's already ahead of everybody in the stands. Alright. It's showtime. Showtime for Shred Fitness over here. Size, growth, get big. Alright, be a fucking lion, alright.